When you start with the first ayah, سَبِّحْ اسْمَ رَبِّكَ الْأَعْلَى. How many of us pause after سَبِّحْ اسْمَ رَبِّكَ الْأَعْلى and say in himself, Subhanallah. This is an order. This is an order not only to the Prophet, but also to you to say tasbih. You need to build that type of interaction with the Quran. This is one of the keys that it will unlock one of the barriers. It will train your heart to start to interact with the Quran. The second key is to understand the central themes of the surah. Each surah has a theme, has an objective, has a goal that it's talking about, whether it's a small or a big surah. Sometimes it will have 2 or 3 themes, it depends on the surah. But you need to understand the theme, mawdu' al-surah. It's important to understand that central theme. The central theme is like a golden thread that it will connect all the ayat of that specific surah or all the stories of that specific surah. And especially, it's important to understand these type of themes in the big surahs, like Surah Al-Baqarah. If you look at the Surah Al-Baqarah, you will see that mention different stories, and sometimes you don't see that type of relationships. Talk about the creation of Adam, then talking about Bani Israel, different type of stories of Bani Israel, then talking about Ibrahim, then talking about the Qiblatain. So what is the relation between all those? So you need to understand, and this will get you a type of disconnection with the surah. It's important to understand the subject of the surah or the central theme of the surah. For example, the scholars, they said that the central theme, I will take an example over here, which is Surah Al-Baqarah, the biggest surah in the Quran. And the Surah Al-Baqarah revolves around 2 central themes, 2 central concepts it's talking about. The first one is complete submission to Allah, al-istislam. And the second one is al-istikhlaf, which is stewardship and khilafah on earth. So those are the 2 main themes that Surah Al-Baqarah is talking about. And you will see them as a golden thread that is connecting all the ayat and all the stories inside Surah Al-Baqarah. Let me show you an example over here. Due to the time limit, I will focus only on one central theme, which is stewardship, al-khilafah on earth, as illustrated in Surah Al-Baqarah. And you will see, subhanallah, through the surah, while we are going even through the ayat and through the stories, the concept itself of khilafah, it will start to build up different type of dimension from each, subhanallah, story. So even the concept itself, it will build up with the story. And each story will add a dimension to it. For the Khilafah, for example, begins with the story of the creation of our father Adam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us that story, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in his book, إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Indeed, I will place upon this earth a successive authority, which is stewards.